How you doing there, folks? I'm here on some of my stomping grounds where I like to hang posters up and throw a little FTSU in to the feminist social justice warriors. Keep them busy. Currently, I don't have any posters up right now. You know, we've been a little busy with things. Been a busy summer. We had an incredible international conference on men's issues that Voice for Men put on. The speakers there were absolutely incredible. I didn't catch all of them, but I did catch a couple, and I was floored by how intelligent and the arguments and positions that they put forth. Also, we've had a few other odds and sods going on. We have today, we're actually on our way to the meet and greet for the Center for Men and Their Families. That was something that we as the whole movement have been working on to ensure that men have services out there for them and that they know where to get these services. We're coming up on a pretty famous bridge here, and some of you will recognize it, and that goes without saying that I think you'll enjoy what's been done here. We're kind of changing camera angles here a little bit so that our incredible cameraman Sean, with his wondrous flying camera machine, can do his job properly. This is what's commonly called here by the locals called Spencer's Creek. And I grew up around here fishing and whatnot and playing around in here, farting around in this area. Great place for a kid to get out and do some things. So here we have the remnants of some old posters. This one here would have shown the bar graphs showing parity in domestic violence. And of course the social justice warriors came around and didn't really like it too much. But here's something kind of interesting. Now, I wrote a voiceformen.com in chalk on here. Now the city came by in their infinite wisdom and not really realizing that it was chalk, painted over it. So you can see that now it's coming back through again because the paint didn't stick where the chalk is. Nice job there, City of Hamilton. I fully recognize that you don't like men, that you hate men. Over here, we have a couple more stickers, and you'll see that the social justice warriors, like to come by and defame, and literally, they are so angry that they just can't have men's human rights being talked about here. Oddly enough, I always see this vexed.com kind of close by when these stickers were torn down. Wish I had more stickers. I'd be putting them all over the place. There's more of them down here. This is also where I hung that huge banner for the rally the rally for men and boys at Queen's Park. That was right along this little strip here that Attila organized for us. That was last year, and that was an incredible experience as well. Now this little bike path here, this goes on up to McMaster University, which is just up the corner up there. And I always make sure that I try and put them up there. Again, you'll see how, just how much these social justice warriors hate men being treated as humans. These social justice warriors expect men to be a utility to women. Protect, provide, and prostrate themselves at the behest of women for the golden vajayjay. I find that kind of be ridiculous. Human rights include men. I'm wondering when feminism and these social justice warriors is going to recognize that fact. You'll see that I even, kind of hang them up kind of high here too. Here's the remnants again. And again, the city of Hamilton comes by and does their thing, and they slap up paint instead of just addressing the issues, which would be that, men are suffering here and we're not doing anything about it, and we can't rely on feminism to do anything about it. We've seen what feminism does about men's issues. They tend to shout and scream, "Shut the fuck up," and cry me a river when male suicides are talked about. How you doing there, Chanty? Don't you I will never forget how you sat there and laughed in the face of a man who lost his brother to suicide. I don't think society should ever forget. That's how feminism responds to men talking about the issues they face. It seems like feminism has no interest in addressing the issues that men face. We can see that in Emma Watson's last little bit there, the he for she campaign. Again, this is men having to prostrate themselves and bend to the wishes, and sometimes they are outrageous wishes of feminism, and that's horse shit. Because, like I said before, human rights include men. Now, how feminism can say that it's inclusive and for everybody is beyond me. When they're saying, well, he for she, shouldn't it be he and she for humanity or society? No, feminism likes it he for she. So therefore, feminism is the patriarchy, this alleged patriarchy, on steroids. They want, they want men to protect, provide, and capitulate for feminism's whims. There's other people who have expanded upon that idea much more than I could ever, I'm able to. But the premise remains the same. Feminism is all about men being a utility to women. That's kind of where I sit with that, and that's a firm belief that I hold. As a matter of fact, if you go back to Seneca Falls back in the 1890s there, men were told to get to the back of the bus, sit down, and shut up. What does that remind you of? It reminds me of another ism called racism. So feminism is just like racism in that aspect, only their way of sorting out the good from the bad is to do it on the basis of sex instead of on a person's race or religion or anything like that, which leads me to another ism, fascism. Now, fascism sought to separate people and divide people on the basis of religion. Geez, feminism, there's another ism you resemble. Again, instead of dividing, you make your point by trying to other one sex instead of saying, hey, there's bad apples in every bunch. So it's been a very busy and productive year. And we're noticing that feminism's screeching a little louder, complaining, making more complaints because, God, if the men don't help these social justice warriors, nothing will ever happen. I call horse crap. They manufacture data. They go in and create false statistics. How you doing there, Professor Holly Johnson and Rena Bivens and a few others? Oh, Jennifer Frazier there. How you feminist scholars and professors doing after you committed the crime of fraud by putting out false statistics and getting government money, among other monies. You got monies from hardworking, honest, hardworking citizens who bought into your lie and your propaganda. What else has been going on? Sean, you got any questions or?
Well, if I wasn't sweating to death, I might ask you something, but I'll get around to it later.
Yeah?
It's kind of hard to concentrate on the content while straining to hold this thing up.
I understand. What an incredible job you do filming things for the men's human rights movement. You'll notice that we're not an ism. We're not masculinism. We're not feminism. We're not humanism. We are a movement. Once we're done, once we get back to equal treatment between the sexes, then we're going to stop. We're going to walk away. I hope to retire in my lifetime, but we're fighting Goliath here. Feminism is a multi-billion-dollar evil empire, as Aaron Pizzey calls it, and I think she hit the nail right on the head with that statement. It is a multi-billion-dollar evil empire that seeks to sustain itself and keep that blood money flowing. Now, the reason why I say blood money is because, when a man is treated as a second-class citizen and told by the government and the legal system that sorry, you know, your rights don't count, they are left with very few options. Sometimes that's the bottom of a bottle. Some men pour themselves into a bottle with the issues that they face and their issues being ignored by society. Others just decide to check themselves out and take their lives by their own hand. I'd like to point out that, again, this is one of the points that really irks me. The government of Canada knows that men make up 76% of the suicide population, and despite knowing this fact, they have 11 papers for women's mental health, which is, you know, great. That's a good job. I'm happy about that because, you know, I come from a mother, I have female relatives, but they only have one paper on men's mental health. Now, this is deplorable and unacceptable. In an equal and just society, this would never have happened. But because of feminist influence and feminist demands, it has happened. It has transpired. In a free and equal society, in a just society, we would have 11 papers for women's mental health and 11 papers for men's mental health. Unfortunately, feminism doesn't want that happening. Like I said, they like their blood money. They like it when a man dies. They don't care that he was somebody's father, somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's cousin, uncle, etc., etc., etc. These are things that I've noticed in the 5 years that I've been digging and dealing with this stuff. 6-7 years ago, I probably, you know, I would hear stories from friends about their horror stories, and I would think to myself, oh, it was a one-off. I would kid myself. Oh, it was a one-off. You know, it's not systemic. It's not inherent in the system. And until the one day that it happened to me, it landed in my lap. At that point in time, I had a choice. I could either grab my ankles and allow the system to royally Roger me, or I could draw a line in the sand and take a stand. Well, I guess you figured out what I took. You know, that line in the sand is now a line in concrete. It ain't going, it ain't budging any further. It's actually gotten to the point where I can do some pretty interesting things here in Hamilton because the local legal system just doesn't really want to mess with me anymore. The last time that they messed with me, I ended up doing a 14-day hunger strike at the Barton Street Bellagio. For those of you who don't know, that's the local provincial jail here. And I have to say that the system was shitting itself, metaphorically speaking and figuratively speaking. The lieutenant there, he was smuggling in ice cream bars trying to get me to break from my hunger strike. At one point in time, I appeared for a bail hearing, and the justice that I appeared before, I pointed out that you know, you cannot deny me bail without just cause, and I'm asking the Crown to provide just cause, and that it's, you know, that's enshrined in our Charter rights and freedoms. And the justice at that point in time said, I don't give a damn what the Charter says. So there we had a member of the judiciary saying out loud in open court that he didn't give a damn what the highest law in the land says. The highest law in Canada says, the Charter rights and freedoms. By the way, I believe the right to bail, you can find that around section, somewhere between section 7 and 15. I think it's somewhere around maybe 12 or maybe enshrined in section 11. But you can look that up for yourself, you know, if you're in Canada, or, you know, go to the Government of Canada website, law website, and that'll go. Anyways, folks, I've just given you a little bit of a talk about things, and thanks for joining us. Cheers and have a good one.